All right. So today we're going to talk about growing a Facebook group. So here's my street cred sheet, right? This is actually kind of funny because I made this presentation like 3 weeks ago. And as you'll see, as we go through here, it says 53,622 members. We're over 55,000 already. So whoops. And it says I screenshot my page, my total members, and my engagement. You'll see the, I'm sorry, if you guys don't mind muting yourselves, I can hear somebody munching on something in the background. So active members, 43,410, which is an engagement rate of 80.96%, which is actually incorrect. So, and we can dig into that here when we dig through all this. For the last 2 weeks when I did all this, Facebook hadn't counted a single post in the group as engagement, but historically the group has held around 90% engagement, which is more accurate. But within the group, it's the largest demographic of my group is 25 to 34-year-old males, 49%. The largest age group is 25 to 34, and 35 to 44 follows that up. And then it's a 70-30 male-female split. So that's kind of my demographics. All right, so here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to walk through setting up your group, SEO or whatever you would call it in Zuckerberg world, Facebook automation, not the e-commerce crap, but like how to automate your group, moderating your group, how to grow it, and then some pro tips and tricks that I've learned, like some hacks for essentially like hacks for engagement, right? So how to like some really odd tricks. So some things that'll help Facebook itself, basically ways to get Facebook on your side for growing your group. Things that I need to do more of, actually. All right, so basics here are, oh gosh, I need to get this bar out of the way, sorry. Normally it just goes away on its own, but whatever. All right, setup. What is the goal of your group? And so this is like with any social media platform, right? Like you need to start with the end in mind. And I know this is easier said than done. I struggle with vision myself, but just being like, I want to have a Facebook group is great. And honestly was kind of what I did. But I always knew that I wanted it to be, documenting my journey, helping service members and vets learn about real estate. So I had a theme in mind at least. But if you're going to start a Facebook group for raising money, then you need to know, like, okay, the end goal is to raise capital. So we need to back plan from that. Like, who's our avatar? Who's our, whatever, how do we get to that? You need to have that end goal in mind so that you can know, you can back plan everything else, because everything needs to kind of point in a direction as you're building this out. Otherwise, you're going to be changing things as you go, right? Like that. I hope that just makes sense, right? You want to build it from the get-go so that everything lines up. And then when we talk about avatars, the reason for that is that you want to, in order for you to be effective with branding, you need to know who you're marketing to. So prime example, I know that when I speak to my group, I am speaking majority to a 30-year-old dude. So I'm basically talking to myself, right? A 33-year-old guy. And so I can speak to myself. I can write content or film videos like I'm talking to Adam Whitney or John Lalonde or Adit Shah or Donnie Appleberry, and I can just have a conversation like I would with any of them. And I can know that, hey, if I make my content in such a way that it resonates with them, then it will probably resonate with my Facebook group, which is really helpful, which is really important if you're creating a group targeted towards a specific niche or idea, right? Because you don't want to just create, content towards just a general population and not really have any idea who your target avatar is. Because if you're not, if you're speaking to everybody, you're going to fall on deaf ears, right? You got to know who your ideal demographic is in order for it to resonate with those people, right? And then what your branding, color schemes, images are. So like this all kind of dives into branding, and we're going to go way more in depth than that in another topic. But something that would be worth looking up is I would look up like the color, just look up like the color wheel and look up like the marketing, like what the different colors mean. So for example, like the emotion wheel for colors, the reason I use blue on most of my stuff is that blue is like the color of trust per se in colors. So they say blue is like the color of trust, green is like the color of like abundance and money, red is like urgency, sales, fear. And so understanding what your colors mean, like if you wanted to have a Facebook group all about abundance and growth and your color schemes were black and red, that would psychologically send mixed signals to people. So just understanding those kinds of things, right? And then, all right, what do you want the overall feel of your group to be, right? Every group has its own vibe. Some groups are just trash talking, meme pages, and you guys know the gist. So just kind of going in with those goals in mind. Envision the journey that you want to take members on. Is this going to be for beginners? Is this going to be for accredited investors? Deciding on if you're going to want people to be able to promote in your group or run ads or put their own social media posts in there, right? Are you going to want people to engage, like share their own content into your group? Are you going to want to be able to post your own stuff in there, right? Run your own Facebook page, because if you're going to want to promote your own group with ads and public social media posts, then you're going to want to have a Facebook page set up so that you can run ads and social media that you can then share to about your group as well. But yeah, we're not going to go over Facebook ads today, but just overall basic thoughts going into this. Oh, I must have clicked on something. There we go. All right. Basic, and I'm just going to leave this here. I would have to, well, actually, I'll just show you. We'll do this all in just a second, but essentially, if we were to create one, this is how you do it. You click create group, name, privacy level, choose visible or hidden, add friends, which is optional, but why wouldn't you? Add a group description, choose the 2 tags. These are the ones that I went with, military, personal finance, and I'll show you this stuff in a second. You put a cover photo. This is what, and you can go to like Canva and build your own, or you could just go to Fiverr and pay somebody. You want it to be 820 by 312 pixels. And then I'll go through the settings here in just a second on my group. But before we do that, I hope that I don't get a million messages or going through this. Oh gosh, this bar is going to drive me nuts today if I can't figure out how to get it to hide itself. I'm going to be moving it the whole time. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to open another tab here for Facebook, and we're going to do this real quick. Where's the button? There we go. So you go create new group. This is how you do that first part. You just choose the name, choose whether you want it to be a public or a private group. Now, I would suggest that you leave it as public at the beginning, because if you make it private, you can never change it back. But if you make it public, you can change it to private later. And so here's the deal. If it's public, anybody can see the group, and see who's in the group, and see what they post, which is decent when you're starting out. If you make it private, then only other members can see who's in the group and can see what they post, right? So it's just a difference on whatever, but some members do like private groups, which is great. You'll still be able to find the group, but then you're going to invite friends because, why would you not invite friends? Choose the group name, choose a cover photo, put the description about whatever, boom, hit create, done. Super, super simple for the beginning part. Now, for the group settings piece, right? Here's where you go in here, you go crazy. So name and description, name of the group from military to millionaire. And then you put a description. So you can, honestly, I should shorten this down. I currently just have my new member whatever, which is like all this free content, free services, introduce yourself to the group, invite friends and family, join the discussion, post in any, that's not supposed to be there. I don't want people posting. That explains why people keep slamming syndication deals around and then saying, I thought it was okay. Like, no, I don't want you raising money in the group. It's against the rules. They misinterpret that, I guess. Okay, so anyway, so that's like the cool. So, and then there's a new member intro. So when someone joins, they see this, which is like, welcome to the community. Here's our mission, yada, yada, yada. Kind of the same spiel. And I should make that different from the description, but mine is currently set to private because as the group grew, people started voicing that they were less comfortable with the group because it was not private. I do want the group visible so that people can find it, which I think is huge if you want to grow, obviously. You can set locations and you can set a bunch of them. So I basically chose, every base that I could like think of. I'm sure there's a million other bases out there that I can't think of, but and then United States. Tags, I chose military, personal finance, but you're going to want to choose, you can only choose two. So you're going to want to choose two that fit kind of where you're at. Choose a custom web address. Mine is groups/military millionaire. You can only do that once. So once you set it, you're done. Group colors, badges, you can choose what badges people can use. So, you can turn these on and off. I just have them all on pretty much. So this is the page that my group is affiliated with. I affiliated with my page, obviously. Okay, so I have mine set to where only profiles can join. I do not want pages joining my group. Only admins and moderators can approve requests. You can set it to where random people can approve members. I wouldn't do that. You can set it to where there's pre-approved. Like if someone comes from another group, then they're pre-approved into your group. So like I could set my military to agent group to where anybody from this group is approved, but we didn't do that because we want to collect emails, and I'll explain that all later. You can set it to where, anonymous posts, I like them on to where people can do anonymous posting. The thing with this is if you turn on anonymous posting, here's the secret for anonymous posts. As an admin or a moderator, when somebody posts anonymously, the admins and moderators have to approve that post before it goes live to the Facebook group. And when it comes to us for approval, it says who is submitting the post. So if someone tries to submit some ridiculous stuff anonymously, it will out them. So it'll be like, Adam Whitney is submitting this, ridiculously racist thing anonymously. And you can be like, nope, blocked from the group. So it still gives you the option to, and obviously Adam would never submit anything racist. I'm just, whatever. But it gives you the option to, you still get the option to moderate the group appropriately, but it gives people the security to post things that they might not otherwise feel comfortable sharing to the masses, while still giving you the opportunity to make sure they're not posting crazy stuff. So who can post? Anyone in the group, admins only, require post approval. We'll dig into why this is a good idea, bad idea later, but I have it off just because I don't want people to have like a lag. Like if you turn that on, then, especially right now with how big the group is, like it would take forever for people to get their posts approved, and they'd get mad that they never get to post anything. We do have spam settings so that Facebook can tell us if they think there's spam. Approve edits on and off. I have this on just because what it means is if someone edits their post, then it comes to us, and I'll show you where later. And it means that it'll show us the original post and the edited post. So if somebody says, that's not true, XYZ on a comment, and they go and edit their post, and then they say like, I didn't say that, it'll show us like, this is the original post, this is the updated post for approval. And then we can be like, well, this dude's, lying through his teeth or, whatever, and we can moderate accordingly, which I like just because it holds people accountable. Edit post formats, so you can see what kind of post. So like, I didn't want people to be able to go live in the group or create rooms in the group. I really don't want people to be able to create events, but if I turn this off, I can't even create events. So, and I don't want them to, just because the only ones who do are like crypto and Bitcoin scams. Okay, so I have it set to most relevant posts, suggested default comments. The default tab is discussion. That's the only option. And then you can add the group, write events, files, all this other stuff, Q&A, reels. So this is actually new to the group, to groups in general. And I need to go and play with this at some point. Like, they had just started letting you share reels inside of groups. So I haven't like played with that inside of my group specifically yet, and I need to. And then you got the badges, right? So conversation starter, highly rated, rising star, very responsive visual storyteller, community chats. Personally, I hate these. They're a great idea. There's a lot of engagement when you get them set up, but they are the worst thing in the world to try to moderate. And they have been rife with spam for me. I've had to shut every single one of these chats down. I can't control them. People are getting scammed in them. The spam is just ridiculous in these things. It's as if every bot and scammer in the world has figured out that they're hard to moderate. And so when a chat opens up, it's just garbage. The guides, you can display at the top, and I'll show you what I've done with those. And then we got the linked pages. So I linked to my page. And the apps. So if you're going to live stream, you're going to want to add those apps to your settings, and that's it. So back to PowerPoint world. Now we will walk through all this stuff here in a minute, but the admin assist is approving a member request. So this is all the stuff you can do, right? So, and I'll just share my screen here in a second, but you can approve a member request based on the account age, questions, friends, and group. You can decline member requests, decline incoming posts, remove published posts. You can read all this stuff, right? Turn off commenting, publish welcome posts. I used to do these manually, and it saved me a ton of time. The keyword moderation settings, these are some of the ones that I have. So keywords, engagement, conflicts. So let's go run through this, and I'll show you this. So this is the admin assist section. This is good stuff. This stuff will save you a ton of time if you utilize it, right? So, like so far yesterday, like this wasn't too bad, but like yesterday we had one post auto declined. So post by this guy was automatically declined. Why? Because he is sharing, I don't know. So this might've been a great video. I don't know. But it's just sharing YouTube video with absolutely no context. So it's just a link, no context. And it might be a great video. I have no idea. But when I see this, it's just somebody who's probably never posted in the group before, just trying to grow their YouTube channel. So I have it flagged on Facebook to basically, if you're sharing a link, sorry. So like, here's what we got. So you can set all this. So I don't have any of these set. You can base it to where like approve a member automatically if, decline a member automatically if, suspend a person if they're repeat offenders. Now, the reason I don't have the approve and decline set is because we want to be able to manually do that, because there's just a lot of nuanced variables to that, and we'll talk through the member approval stuff here in a minute. But I mean, you can see like we got 64 new requests today alone. So like if I go off account age, the number of friends in the group or membership questions, like if they answer the questions, that's great, but the bots will go yes, 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 or no, 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 no. And they answered all the questions. So Facebook would let them in. Well, that doesn't help. And also we ask if they want to add their email. And if they say yes, and they add their email, and then we miss it because they got added to the group automatically, we'll never capture their email. So that's not good. Now here's what I do have. It's decline incoming post if has a credit card number, has a phone number, doesn't have a profile picture. Sorry. Like if you don't have a profile picture on your Facebook page, like you should. Has your email address in the post. Reshared content from outside the group. If you're sharing, like if you're basically that's if you posted on your personal page or a Facebook page or inside of your group and you're trying to reshare it into the Military Millionaire community, it'll get blocked. You should create it as an original post within the community. That's what I want. Like, we don't want you, because what it is people are, they're adding value by sharing their Facebook group, right? That's what they're doing. If they really wanted to add the value, they would just make the post in the group, right? What they're doing is they're trying to share their group, which I would be okay with if they reached out to me and wanted to like collaborate or whatever, but they don't. They never message me and hit me up, because I've let people share their group and do all of that in the past when they talk to me and whatever. I just don't like when somebody comes in the group, no engagement whatsoever with the group at all, no introduction, no idea who they are, and then they start just sharing stuff from their group like, oh yeah, I'm adding value. Like, dude, no one knows who you are, it's like, it's not genuine. Sorry. If they haven't had their account for 3 months, then sorry, declined. That one's kind of a weird one, but it is what it is. So then Facebook will also, in our group, will also automatically remove your post if it's been reported 3 times, or turn off the commenting if it's been reported 3 times. And then we've got, I don't have this one turned on. In the chat, before I started deleting them, it would stop messaging if the author doesn't have a profile picture, violated group rules in the last 28 days, hasn't had their Facebook group for a month, remove the message if it's been reported by admin 3 times. Now I have a weekly Facebook group post that goes out at 08 Monday. So that is the, hey, let's welcome the new members, blah, 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 blah. With tags and whatever. I'll tell you that I used to make this manually, and it would only let us add like 50 to 100 people to it. And I mean, you can see right here, 64 people requested to join today. You'll see how many people join the group on like a monthly basis right now. And you'll see that we would be posting this like every day or two. Now it'll tag everybody who's joined over the last month when this goes live at Monday at 08, which is awesome. And then I have a post. You guys see these probably, so I'm letting the cat out of the bag. Every Wednesday at 5:30 in the morning, what action are you taking to get closer to your goals this week? And every Friday at 5 p.m., time for weekly wins. What was your small win this week? Right? These little, like the orange background ones, they're automated. In fact, a lot of times I don't even know that they went out, and I just start getting my phone blown up with notifications that people are responding. Yeah, but they do great for engagement. They usually get 40, 50, 100 comments, and they get engagement in the group. And then I'll go in and I'll comment on them and, whatever. And they were posts that I had made once or twice that got really good engagement. And I was like, wow, these are awesome. Let me automate it so that they continue to get good engagement, even if I forget to make them myself. And I've been doing it for a month or two, and they continue to do really well. All right. The keyword piece. We'll just talk about that rather than going back to the Facebook group and bouncing too much. But in Facebook, you can also set keywords to, I'll if you guys want to see later, I'll show you where to do that. But you can set keywords for moderation alerts. So like some of the keywords, I have a bunch of keywords set up, but like some examples are like, I have keywords for like PM, DM. I mean, you can see them right there. Pick me, because that's a scam every time. Whenever someone posts a comment or a post that has those words in it, it gets flagged as a keyword alert, and then you can go and look at the post or comment and see why someone's saying it. So like if someone says like find a realtor or VA loan or a real estate agent or whatever, you can go look at the post and say, oh, hey, someone's talking about a VA loan question that we can answer. Or somebody is saying they sent an unsolicited PM. This is probably another MLM pitch, or oh, pick me. That's a scam flag, you know. The two bottom ones here are brand new. So engagement, this is a new thing that it'll flag where it's, this is brand new. So I just tested this out starting like when I was building this presentation. I was like, oh, this is cool. I just started this. So any post with more than 35 comments per hour or reactions will now pop up as a alert, which is kind of cool because it allows me to see what is really hot in the group. And then conflicts, this hasn't flagged anything yet, but so I don't know what Facebook says is a conflict. So we'll find out as we go along, I guess. Some things to consider in the membership approval world. What's important to you? For me, I want to make sure that they actually answer questions, not the yes, 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 that their profile appears to be real, that they agreed to the rules, and ideally that they have some ties to the military, but it's not necessarily required. And if they're not tied to the military, I look at like what their motive might be, right? Like if it's just a real estate agent who's just like in there, like, because it asks like no affiliation required, but like, what's your interest in joining the group? Like, because it asks like, are you interested in like financial freedom and blah, 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 blah. So if they're not tied to the military, I'm looking to see like, cool, like, so what is it about the group that you want to join? Because sometimes they'll just straight up be like, oh, I'm a real estate agent and I want business. All right, cool. Well, goodbye, not your group. There's plenty of veterans in the group that can help. So, and then I can't stress this enough, capture emails. And then we're going to go through this real quick. So for the moderation side, so post approvals, the pros for the post approvals is that you're going to see all potential posts and control what the group content is. Cons is it's going to take a ton of time. You're going to frustrate the crap out of members, right? Because imagine if you go to post and then you had to wait like 4 or 5, 10 hours for the admin to approve your post, or it's not till the next day. Like that's frustrating. And the group as big as mine, it would be like a day or two down the road. There's no way we could keep up with that. Pending approvals, if post approval is on, then for like the edited stuff, if you choose to have edited posts like I do, then you'll be able to see that. And then potential spam. So I'll show you all this stuff real quick. Okay, so the first things first. So member requests. Here's how it'll pop up, right? So do you have an interest in real estate investing and financial freedom? So this guy's active duty. Look at that. Use rec. So first arm. Yep. Email address. So I'm actually going to change the wording on that question to make it better for get a better response rate. We get about 30% of the people who join the group who give us their email address, though, which is awesome. One thing that I will say, though, is so there's a bunch of filters here. So I treat people who were invited differently usually, because a lot of times people who were invited like this, here's a good example, like my friend Matt Gardner invited this guy, right? So if Matt is inviting this guy, he's probably a decent dude. He hasn't responded to any of the group rules or questions, right? The thing is that when you get invited to a group, you often don't even realize it. Like if you get a lot of notifications on Facebook, you probably don't even have an idea. And so it's like, well, we usually we leave him for a little while. And so it's like, well, 21 hours ago, he was invited. He's probably not even going to see the questions. And so a lot of times we just look and go, all right, well, he was invited by a group member that, doesn't have any issues in the group. Like I know Matt's not going to invite a turd into the group. So, all right, we'll give him a shot. I don't know this person, so I would probably go and do click and see what their engagement in the group has been. But like this person's in the Army, it's been 19 hours. They haven't even seen the thing. So I probably give them the benefit of the doubt. But sometimes, they will see the questions and they'll answer them and whatever, right? So that's like the exception for me. But you can go through and you can sort all the questions out, but and I'll show you where you can change all the questions. So, so here's where the pending approvals would show up. Here's where the potential spam would show up. Unfortunately, I shouldn't have done this. I went through earlier and cleaned this out. Usually we get a decent amount of this stuff, but okay. So membership questions, here you go. You can edit it all right here. You can create a new question. It's your affiliation, email, and I can change that later. And then yes, no to the group rules, which you can change, pending approvals, potential spam, easy. All right. More moderation stuff, flagged by Facebook. So, and the member reported content, which we already looked at. And then I'll show you the activity log here in a second. Flagged by Facebook. So Facebook, it's Facebook. They flag all sorts of stuff. Possible bullying, harassment, hate speech, nudity. So for anything, you can choose to have Facebook just remove it immediately or hide it. Or you can choose to let the admins decide. Personally, I have them all set to hide and let admins decide because Facebook punts this in the stands more often than not. I have had so many things that, and don't get me wrong, like Facebook doesn't flag stuff all the time. It's maybe once a month, twice a month. Even in a group my size, it might be like maybe 5 or 10 times a month at most. But when they do, it's like probably 80% of it's wrong. And so, it's like ridiculous things. Like I've had them flag stuff and I'm just like, I don't even know how they thought that was remotely inappropriate, but whatever. The member reported content, for the most part, this is useful. Members will help you keep the group clean. Like if people are just being super rude to each other or like spewing, like, a lot of times they'll flag stuff when like people are giving advice to like, how to skirt mortgage fraud and stuff. But they will also report some pretty petty things. And so there's a lot of times that stuff gets reported and I'm just like, someone called you on your bullshit. Okay, ignore, so whatever. That's why it exists. So you can say, yep, no, whatever. Activity log allows you to see this. This is the, hey, I just approved this guy, right? So add note, see details. I changed the group description. But like, okay, so all right, so decline this person's, so approve this person's request to join, undo. So basically this is just the log of like, I'm trying to find like a good, hey, look, it's John Lalonde approved an anonymous post, undo. Look at that, John being useful in the group. You can just go through. This dude's crushing it. This is my intern. This guy's solid. He's a Marine Corps vet who's doing a marketing degree right now, and he's interning with me. But you can literally just scroll through here and you can see like people just doing whatever. But ultimately, like you can see the details on whatever. So I can see like this person requested to join and click on them. And then when you click on them, you can still go and you can see like if you click on them, and it takes you to their little profile over here. You can go down here and you can see their answers, boom, 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 boom. So it'll let you see all of that. And then you can undo if you disagree with whatever, right? So super valuable for if there was like a mistake. All right, the good stuff. So I know this is shocking, but the secret to growth is quality content, and a whole lot of other stuff, right? So engagement. Listen to the questions your group is asking, and then create content around it. So we actually have like in a Google Drive, we're like tracking questions that people ask a lot in the group, and we like rack and stack. This is kind of a newer thing that we're doing. In the past, it was just when it was like just me in the group, I just kind of kept a log in my head. But now I've got like 8 moderators in the group that are running stuff from Vetted VA, and I've got a couple others here and there. And so it gets kind of crazy. But we have a Google Drive where we track like popular questions. And so we're just running with it. And, so we go crazy with it. It's like, hey, if someone asks about refinances, 50 times in a week, then I need to write content and film videos on refinances. If people are asking about the VA IRRRL, then I need to do stuff on the VA IRRRL. If the topic of the week is the TSP or side hustles or whatever, like whatever the group is asking about, like that's where you should focus your quality content. Engage regularly within the community, answer questions, post, tag people, all of that. Right. Cheat the system by spread loading your engagement. So instead of like, if you see 30 comments on something, instead of going through and answering all 30, maybe you answer like 2 to 5 comments and then go back 30 minutes later, answer like 2 to 5 comments, go back 2 to 5 comments. That'll keep the post recirculating at the top of the group and continuing to drive engagement, which will keep Facebook, keeping it up at the top and keeping it engaged and keep driving engagement, which pulls people into the group, which is what Facebook wants. The posts that drive engagement is that's the piece. You get like, you're asking questions, like thought-provoking questions, or like word of mouth market, like shareable content. But that's like why the weekly wins and what action are you taking posts that I automate are good, because they drove engagement. So we automated them and they continue to drive engagement every week. Get people to invite their friends, right? So we did giveaways. I've done giveaways before where like Bigger Pockets gave away a pro membership for a year or some books. We've done some other giveaways here and there. Those have worked really well, but a lot of it is just, hey, like I have messaging in there, like when you join, like, hey, invite your friends if you think you can get some value out of this, or just making the group valuable, right? Over time, more and more people have chosen to invite their friends to the group. Provide value, make sure the group stays clean and non-spammy. Don't be promoting and selling your crap 24/7, or doing what they who shan't be named do. Block first. They'll come to you if you're legit, or if they're legit, and then block second. 90% of the time, your gut is right. So what I mean by that is, when I've been building this group out, if I see something that looks iffy, I block them. And my thought is, and that came about when I was at like 5 or 10,000 people in the group. I finally got to a point where I had been giving people second chances and third chances, and they almost always proved me wrong. And so I was wasting a lot of time and energy on that, like on the conversations, letting people convince me that they were worth a second chance, and then on the second chances, and then on what was happening and all this stuff. And finally, I was like, I'm just going to block them. And if they're really genuine, then they will message me and they will apologize or tell me what's up, and realize that like they approached it in the wrong way, and tell me how they're going to do it differently. And I'll tell you, like 99% of the time, I don't hear from them ever again. Or they come at me like super angry, and it's like, well, made the right decision. And the group has been way better ever since. All right. You can run Facebook ads from a Facebook page. You can also do like Facebook ads. So you can do, and we're not going to get super crazy into this, but you can do like user generated content. So like I can do a UGC, like a video that I had on like TikTok or Instagram that did really well, and run it on Facebook. And basically you can upload the emails of the members that had joined your Facebook group, or the members of your Facebook group, to Facebook, and tell Facebook to create a like audience, like a like kind audience, or a duplicate audience, whatever they call it. And Facebook will duplicate your audience and then say, hey, people with the exact same interests as this group of people is who we're going to run your ads to. So this group of people likes this, so we're going to run ads to the same type of interest group, showing them this video. And this video resonated with your audience because it went viral or did really well. So it'll probably resonate with that group. and we're just going to run ads saying, hey, come join this group, or hey, come check out this website, or whatever. But that's a whole different video. And something we're only just now experimenting with. I've only just started running ads for that, like in February or March. Social media posts with your Facebook page that link back to your group, cross-pollinating in other Facebook groups, right? So be genuine, read their group rules, look for pin posts that discuss rules for self-promoting, look for like a self-promotion Friday style post, and reach out to the group admin and ask about collaborating or making a post to add value in their group and mention yours. Like, hey, can we, like your content talks about this and mine talks about this. How about we each do an educational post or live or webinar in each other's group? And always go through the admin or moderator, or if they have like a self-promotion post, don't just post in their group, right? Like I just talked about what happens in my group. If you come and do that, I will block you. So don't lead that way. Go and do it the right way. Don't just go into other Facebook groups and slam your stuff all around, because it won't work for you. You'll end up not even being in the group, let alone anybody ever seeing your stuff. And then obviously promoting from outside of your Facebook. So your other social media channels, emails, podcasts, being a guest on podcasts, Vice, or being on, whatever that may be. Being a guest on podcasts, having your own podcast, YouTube, blog, Instagram, whatever, and then provide even more value. All right, some pro tips here. So the email list, admin assist, keywords, hashtags. So we already talked about, some of that, right? So we already talked about adding to your email list with people joining. We already talked about admin assist. We already talked about the keywords in the group. Hashtags. So hashtags in the group, if you set them up in the group, I'll just show you real quick. So this is what hashtags do. So you can set up topics in the group topics. And then whenever you hashtag stuff in the group, for you hashtagged the VA loan, then it would show up as this, or military millionaire, or house hacking, or, whatever. So that's just a way to keep general topics. And I guess, so, we got discussion for guides. You can create guides in here. So VA loan, recommended agents, books. I guess I need to add my planner there, off-market deals, content, whatever. You got featured. We got hacked by malware this week. It was super fun, but it's fixed, but Google hasn't recognized it yet. So if you go to my website and it pops up red and says malware, hopefully it'll be fixed in the next 3 to 5 days. So these are featured posts. I guess somebody figured out that you could do reels in the group. And go figure that out. My book, members, you can go scroll through there. Media, so posts that people have made, right? Files that have been uploaded. So, all the different files that can upload to whatever. And then questions that people are asking the group, right? So all that stuff. And then you can do, I guess it's the last final things in here. So you can see the growth, right? So we've had, we've approved 1,500 people in the last month, 481 declined, 8 blocked. Probably should up the blocking. But this is kind of the growth over the last 28 days, but let's see. It's not going to let me just do the last year, but so things get kind of crazy. We get 4,000 requests a month for 60 days. Engagement. Here's that period where Facebook just wasn't counting anything. 0,000 posts apparently for, whatever amount of days. So we went from, averaging 20, 30 posts to 0, 16,000 active members to 2. So whatever. But anyway, so you can see all that data. I don't think there's anything else in the actual group that I need to show you guys. The add features is where you can do all the badges. I'm just making sure there's nothing else in here before I go back to the flagged by Facebook and the member reported content, group rules. And the overview page. Yeah, all right, that should be good enough. So, all right, so pro tips, and this should be bringing it home. Okay, so this engagement mega cheat. I guess we'll do that piece real quick. That'll be probably the last thing. So this piece right here, it's actually kind of funny. Oh, it's right here. It's in membership. Yeah, there we go. So top contributors. Yeah. So you can see right here, like, so you can see top towns, right? San Diego, San Antonio, countries. You can see, right? This clearly military bases, boom, 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 boom. And then you can see age and gender. But this piece, so Jeff Noble, 4 comments, or 4 posts, 73 comments, 53 likes. Greg Schaefer, Stacy Dykeman, Mike Demo, Chung, Jerry, that's Adit Shah, as Jordan Northrup, Jason. Okay, so this hack right here is saying you go there, membership, top contributors, and basically mention 1 or 2 of them each week to keep them driving even more engagement. So tag them and stuff. Basically, you're hacking the psychology of your top performers, right? So this is making them feel like a valuable, recognized member of the community and helping them double down as people who contribute to your community. So like I should go back to Facebook over this week, and I should find a way to tag Jeff, tag Greg, tag Stacy. I was on a call with Mike this week. I was emailing Stacy this week. I talked to Adit all the time. I'm in a very small blogging Facebook community with Jerry. So at least 4 of these guys I've talked to this week, but I've never talked to Jeff. So I should probably reach out to Jeff or tag Jeff in a comment or a post or something. Make some effort to make him feel special because he's clearly crushing it in my group. And that would hack the psychology of being like, yo, this guy's crushing it in my group. Let me help him feel, like it's noticed, because it is. And that would help Facebook appreciate me keeping people on the platform, right? The more Facebook realizes that people are staying on the platform in your group, the more Facebook will push your group to other people and bring people into the group. So another thing is you can reference posts from the past that were notable or had a lot of engagement, which you can utilize the post permalink. So you can like go and create a post and hyperlink to a post that was super engaged. And maybe that's a post that one of those members had created, and just say, oh yeah, hey, here's a post that blah, blah, blah. And that'll also trigger engagement. Another thing you could do with that is make some of these people group experts on a specific area, or give them a badge, or maybe make one of them a moderator if they're, worthy of being a moderator. Like I could probably trust Adit. I know I could trust Adit. If Adit wanted to be a moderator, I could make Adit a moderator, right? I could probably make Jerry Ziegler a moderator. He's a tax dude and super savvy. Savvy enough that he wouldn't let me interview him when I was looking for a new CPA because he was too busy. So he couldn't take me on. The top contributors, right? You can recognize them as top contributors. Maybe even just make a post and just say, hey, here's the top 10 contributors this month. Like, just want to recognize them, and maybe, I don't even know, it might even be worth like sending them all a gift card or something. Like that could be like a monthly thing that would be worth like, I don't know, $500 and each of them a $50 gift card or something. Like you could probably do something to make them all feel special and make other people go, oh, wow. Then you got events, you got Facebook Lives, contests and giveaway, whatever. Make your members feel special. People want to feel special. Okay, some wrong turns to avoid as we get close to wrapping this up. I know we're going over, but it's not going to be as long as the YouTube one. So we'll still have some time for questions. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Some wrong turns to avoid: spending too much time trying to get people to join your group rather than just engage. Just focus on engaging with the members in your group, right? Facebook will get your group, and I don't know how they do this, but Facebook will get your group in front of the people who need to see your group if the engagement's there. So the more that you drive engagement inside of your group, the more that Facebook will push your group to people who match the audience that's already in your group. Facebook is all about keeping people on the platform. And so the more engagements in your group, the more it'll pull people to your group to try to keep people on the platform. And then again, if you're just focusing on like teaching and selling rather than engagement, that's going to be more detrimental than if you focus more on the engagement, right? So make sure that you're engaging more than just selling. Don't let the wrong people in the group, right? Growing right is way more important than growing fast. And then again, don't make your members wait too long for their post to go live. So if you're going to do the post approval thing, you got to make sure you can approve them quickly. Otherwise, like, you got to think through the user experience. That's going to be very frustrating to your members. And that's the reason I don't do it. And again, as always, just be genuine, add value. Okay. So some monetization strategies, affiliate marketing, right? I love affiliate marketing, and I'm going to do an entire presentation on this as I build out the branding thing. I've actually got some YouTube videos on it. So if you want more information on it, go check out the YouTube videos on, like, I've got one on affiliate marketing specifically for real estate investing, and I've got one or two on just affiliate marketing in general. But this is basically where you recommend a company that you really like or utilize. I wouldn't stake your reputation on a company that you don't use or don't like or haven't experienced. But it can be a win-win for sure. Products and services, right? Like, I have books or a digital version of my planner. You can do some merchandise or whatever, or coaching, consulting, marketing, copywriting, whatever. Anything, skills that you have that you can monetize, all possible options. Facebook Reels, new. Honestly, you can scratch all of this because conveniently, and I'm not going to get into the politics on this because it's not the scope of this, but the moment that they were discussing TikTok getting banned, Facebook and Instagram stopped monetizing their Reels. So as far as I know, they're no longer paying creators to post Reels. And I have no idea what the correlation is there between TikTok getting banned and them not feeling like they need to pay anymore, but it definitely seems suspicious to me. All right, cross-pollination, best practices. Where do you want your audience to end up? Is Facebook going to be your main platform, or are you going to end up funneling them to your blog? No matter what, I would suggest that you have an email list that you capture everybody at, or as many people as possible. YouTube channel, blog, podcast, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But definitely email list is huge. MailChimp is free until you get to 2,000 contacts, but that's how they get you. It's not the best marketing tool, so don't get stuck with it if you're not, if you're planning to grow. It is decent though, and it is free at the beginning. So if you don't have a ton of money or a big budget, it's a good starting place. Go High Level is a great all-in-one tool that I just moved to, and I love it. Active Campaign and ConvertKit are others that I've heard good things about. Now, I will say that one of the people who told me Active Campaign was very good was Ryan Dossi, and he just told me that it sucks and he's moving away from it. So, oh well, take it for what it is. ConvertKit is one that a lot of bloggers I know swear by, but a lot of real estate people I know weren't a huge fan of it. So I've heard good things about ConvertKit. I love Go High Level, but it is a little bit pricier. So I would say when starting out, MailChimp's free, and then at some point you can move to Go High Level. I totally do have an affiliate link for Go High Level that I believe discounts it a little bit, but again, start off with the free one. Start with the end in mind, build your channel accordingly, right? Just, you don't need to spend all the money at once. So there's some links. So Go High Level. I've got some recommendations for like gear, as far as like, if you're going to do any content recording stuff. And then Win Local. We're actually going to have the gentleman who founded that come on and do a presentation here at some point, but it's like a online business card It is where this text FMTM to 88500 contact card is. Morning, buddy. How you doing? Yeah, I'm almost done with this call, all right, buddy? Now come hang out. And then, but it's like an online business card, except that it has an entire CRM built into the back for text blasting, and it's really, really cool. Can you turn that down, buddy? I need to. All right, so that is the end of the actual presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a minute, and let's get some of these things in the chat, see if there's anything. All right. I guess first things first, should I go through the chat first, or were there any like super pressing questions from anyone who has to like rush off?
A lot of people have jumped off already, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Because I told everyone I was going to run long on this. It's going to be overkill.
Hey, David, do you manage any of this through your VAs as far as like, because this is like poking needles in my eyes. I'm not good at social media at all. So do you utilize any VA resources and oversight for the marketing piece of this? Thoughts?
Currently, I have what? Well, watch this. So things have grown over time. We'll just leave it at that for starters. Yes, I have. No, don't tell me it's going to open him specifically. I don't want to. Yeah. So currently, I have 21 admins and moderators. So I've got my COO, and then I've got she works with vetted VA, my page, vetted VA. I've made a few friends moderators. So Adam Whitney, John Milan, Mindy Jensen, vetted VA. This guy right here is the one who's crushing it for me right now. So this is a guy who was a infantry dude, Marine Corps vet for 4 years, who is currently in college working on a marketing degree. And we posted about an internship. He was one of 12 people who applied. We whittled it down. He was the stud, and he is working 10 hours a week, 5 to 10 hours a week right now as an intern for me, just crushing it. He's running all of my approvals and denials for people into the Facebook group right now, as well as keeping all of the log of questions in the group. And then we got some other moderators, and then Alex Police, so friends. So I've got basically, I have friends that I know and trust who moderate stuff just whenever they want to, that I just was like, hey, if you hang on one sec. Sorry, the little one just woke up. So I've got friends that I trust that I was like, yo, you guys are always in the group. You guys are awesome. I'll make you moderators so that if you see stuff, you can just act on it rather than reporting it to me. But then I have 8 vetted VA guys who moderate all the VA loan stuff and spam and whatever. And they rotate one person per day with a backup that, and the agreement there is essentially that, once they're licensed in Missouri, I'll be able to work with them on a marketing agreement to send them business or whatever. But currently they're just for free. They've just been moderating my group for 6 months. And they're awesome. So yeah, I have a lot of help at this point because of the insane amounts of stuff that's going on. I don't have VAs in the Facebook group itself right now, but I am currently hiring a full-time VA for vertical videos and a full-time VA for, I will be following that with a full-time VA for graphic design, and then for horizontal videos. I'm going to be building a full team for media stuff to rescale. At one point I had more of a team than I do right now, but I kind of backed off a little bit. So my intent is to eventually have the ability to replicate what I have and basically offer it as a package to people, and say, hey, we'll help you build. But I need to perfect that before I can do that.
David, have you heard of the company Freedom Makers? They hire spouses as VAs for you, and we've actually hired them as a top seat so that they can oversee the VAs around the world, obviously working for them as our marketing manager. But that's you pay them a little bit more, obviously, because they're here, but they also support our mission. You know what I mean? Like, it's all military veteran spouses around the world that are, it's a great company.
Nice. Eric, what you got? I'll start reading through comments here in a second.
I got a question about promotions and shout outs. When you were talking about collaborating with other groups or something, like somebody has, I don't know, like 30% more followers than you. So I've read that you can do like a promotion where it's like you pay in exchange for followers, or do like a feature for 24 hours, paying these people, these meme pages or groups. How do you feel about that? And did you use that when you were starting?
Oh yeah, I've done all that stuff. In fact, when I first got to like 10,000 with Instagram, the reason my Instagram got so big at first was that I was paying for a lot of that stuff. But when I first did a lot of that, when I was paying somebody to do some of that Instagram growth stuff, it was still working with the algorithm. What they were doing no longer works. And now a lot of those people that are doing that stuff are like just buying likes. The thing that you got to watch out for is, if you're going to do that, you need to make sure that whoever is going to share it, you need to be really careful on, like, look at their engagement. So they might have 700,000 followers, but you need to click through like their last 100 posts or 30 posts or whatever. And like, you're going to want to see, like, if all of their likes are almost the same, then it's garbage. And yet also, if all of their likes are like 3,200, 3,200, also garbage. Like, you're going to want to see that, like, there's no rhythm at all to how much engagement they get on posts, and it's going to be high, right? So like, if you look at like Brandon Turner or like Soli or like Lattes and Leases or like some of these accounts, right? Like, they might have a reel that has like 50,000 views, and then another one like 20, and then one with like 2,000, and then one with like 70,000. And it's like all over the place, but overall it's very high engagement. And you're going to want to see like decently high engagement and not really a rhythm to it. If you see like kind of a just like steady kind of tempo, it's like, they're probably just paying for people to like their stuff. Like, it's all bots. That's where I'd be iffy on it. And there's actually a website, I need to find it, but there's a website that you can go to and you can like, it'll tell you like the authenticity of like people's followers. Like, I literally paid somebody at one point who I thought was super authentic about how they were going to grow my Instagram. And on day one, I received like 900 followers at 1,500. And on day two, I received 901 followers at 1,500. And I blocked their account from access to my Instagram immediately, because I was like, oh crap, they're just buying bots. And that still hurt my account. Like, I have not grown past 44,000 in over a year now. Like, Instagram just like blacklisted me. So, and I can't say that that's exactly why, but yeah, so be careful with that stuff for sure. But
thank you.
Yeah, but it can be legit. And like, the share for share stuff definitely works. Like, I mean, I'll tell you also, like, if you get tagged in the right post from the right person, you'll see a massive growth. Like, my buddy just got a like Thak Win to do a reel with him, and he went up 1,000 followers the next day. So if you get the right people to share your stuff, it's huge. All right, so let's see. So obviously there's a research on color schemes, subconscious impacts. Brett, it depends on your goals. I like the blue. I like the trust thing. I think that it fits your it's going to fit what you're doing, right? Like it needs to fit what you're doing. For me, my sales style is like, put a bunch of free stuff out there. I want you to know, like, and trust me. Come to me, baby. Come to me, come to me, come to me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And it's here if you want it. And so blue is my thing. It's also my favorite color, so it works out. That's my style. I want you to, come and trust me and buy my stuff if you want it. So that fits me. But if you're like green works really well for like growth and abundance and whatever. But also on that same like color scheme marketing thing, you can also look at the color wheel. There's also marketing stuff where it'll tell you like, you can do like color schemes. So you can pick like 2 or 3 colors and you can go online. You can decide which like you want your primary color to be. And you can go online and find, I forget what it's called, but like, do like color wheel stuff and do like your primary color and your secondary, or primary, secondary, and tertiary. And it'll recommend based on what you want your primary color to be, what your secondary or secondary and tertiary should be. And so it'll find complementary colors to help you build out the rest of your scheme, which is awesome. What is the locations actually doing?
You know what I'm talking about, Dave?
What was that?
Do you know what I'm talking about? That section in the beginning, you were saying, here, I put all of these locations for every military base. What does that actually do for the group by identifying those locations? What does it do for areas that aren't?
I think it's just like, I think it's just telling Facebook to like kind of target that area for like,
okay.
I don't know for sure that like, so Facebook SEO is like a mystery to the world. The Zuckerberg does what the Zuckerberg wants. And he zucks whatever he wants to zuck. So like nobody knows. But my guess is just that if I choose locations where there's large amounts of military peoples, that in hopes they will be more likely to have my group pop up in front of them. I have no clue if it actually works that way, but
Gotcha.
that was my assumption.
Sure.
I don't know what the comments are about the New Western wholesaling company.
It was that guy you said looked super legit and you approved into your group, even though New Western's like the slimiest wholesaling company. They're never direct to seller. They daisy chain other people's deals and add a little bit of money on top, so you're actually paying more for their properties.
The guy Matt Gardner invited in?
Yeah, they usually sell to suckers.
Oh. Well.
They're the people I would go to if I can't move a deal because I got it too high.
So I should go undo my own action in the activity log, huh?
And they're like the 4X of wholesaling, and they're in your DMs like you wouldn't believe.
I'll go remove them then. Thank you. If I had a business where people became clients and you wanted to create a place for them to meet each other, engage this community, start with a Facebook group or something like Circle. I guess it depends on how big the groups. Oh, he's not even here anymore, is he? Oh, bummer. Well, stink. Brandon Jenkins, if you watch the recording of this, it depends on how big you want the community to be, because Circle's, great, but it's expensive. And so Facebook, as much as I love Circle, it's hard to beat Facebook because they do such a good job of keeping people engaged. Managing social media is one of my weaknesses. Oh, okay, we already talked about that one. Okay, so I think we covered all the questions in the chat. So anyone got anything else?
Thanks, Dave. Really great brief. Really well done, man. A lot of great information.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you.
it, sir. Glad you guys got something out of it.
David.
Hope you enjoy your Saturdays, gentlemen and ladies.